Hello and welcome back to another one of my FPL videos. I of course am the FPL trainer, and in this video we're going to be going through my team selection for game week 31, which is tomorrow. I mean, oh my god, it's tomorrow. Not good. I mean, obviously we all saw this coming if you look at FPL like I do, and you knew game week 30, 31 and 32 was going to be in a week. So it's going to be back to back, so it was going to be a mental week this week. And it's now started, so you should have pre-planned your transfers way before game week 31. Now, I kind of half-heartedly did, and I didn't at the same time. So I've got one free transfer, and I'm not. I mean, I know who I want to bring in, but my defense isn't the best. Put it that way. And ideally, I need to change that around, and I don't want to take any more -4s hits. But anyway, we'll talk about that as we go through the video. Before that, let's look back on game week 30, which you can already see, literally just finished yesterday, and see how I got on. So I ended up with 64 points overall. Now I did take a -4 hit. Now I did talk about it before in last week's videos, where I was thinking about, obviously I brought in Salah at the start straight away, took Lucas Luiz out, brought in Mohamed Salah during the international break, and I did say I'm thinking about doing a -4 hit, and I'm thinking about taking Phil Foden out and bringing Palmer in. And I did that, and boy, I am sure glad I did. He ended up with 15 points. Foden, he only had 3 points, so massive 12-point difference there. Obviously, Douglas Luiz, he had 3 points. Salah ended up with 7, so 4-point gap there. Not a big one there, but still, that's a massive difference from having possible 6 points with those two starting to then getting 22 points. Massive difference. So yeah, really happy with that. Even though I still got a red arrow, 62 points was the safety mark. I ended up with 60 overall, but I only lost like 2.5k in my rank, so I can't be too fussed about it, to be fair. But anyway, let's go through the team then. So starting us off with goal, I went for Dubravka ahead of Areola. I did say the reason why I was going to go for him was because he was at home, whereas Areola was away. And of course, they played against each other, and it turned about to be a mental game. I was hoping it'd be a 0-0, and it ended up 4-3. Absolutely crazy. Areola ended up with 1 extra point, but he went off at half time with concussion. So, I mean, let's face it, he would have ended up with exactly the same amount of points, maybe even less where he was going. But yeah, Dubravka 1 point for me, so not the best start to the game week, considering it was the first one of the game week. Then, of course, the defence, we've got Estupiñán. He only got 1 point against Liverpool. I weren't expecting much, to be honest, because like I mentioned in the last week's video, my defence doesn't look great, and I mentioned it already before. My defence does not look great right now. He did start, though. He went off right at the end, but yeah, conceded 2 goals against Liverpool. But Liverpool, they were always going to score goals, so I wasn't shocked there. Not like I was with Udogie anyway, Spurs. I generally thought Spurs could keep a clean sheet against Luton because they were playing at home. Luton scored pretty much straight away, and that went out the window straight away, which was really annoying, to be fair. So only 2 points from him, which was just shocking. And Gabriel got a cheeky clean sheet there. I did think the game would be a boring 0-0, and boy, I got that one right. So yeah, I've got to be happy with that. So definitely be taking those 6 points players. Obviously, Charlie Taylor, I mean, he didn't even start for Burnley against Chelsea. Couldn't believe that. Only got the 1 point, and Doty also got 2. But yeah, those two are really in the mud for me. I'd love to be able to get rid of them. Wait till my wildcard finally kicks in. Those two will definitely be gone. Midfield-wise, so I decided then to drop Saka, put him on the bench, because I did say it was between him and Foden about who I was going to start. Obviously, I've sold Foden, so obviously that meant Saka was going to be on my bench. And yet, he only outperformed 1 of my 4 midfielders, so it weren't actually a bad shout, really. So, obviously, he got the only reason why is he got the clean sheet bonus. And he did go off injured. Well, we'll say injured, or should we say a slight knock against Man City. I mean, yeah, am I worried about it? I mean, the amount of times Saka goes off and still plays next game, you know, wouldn't be surprised if that happens again. But yeah, the fact that he went off wasn't great. I mean, it was towards the end, the 78th minute it was. But yeah, hopefully he's going to be alright, because I don't really want to be taking him out. But if he, I mean, the chances of finding out, because obviously this game was yesterday, the chance of us finding any team news about Arsenal was going to be literally zero. So I'm going to have to go with the gamble really, and I'm going to be sticking with Saka. But anyways, he was on the bench. So yeah, he outperformed Maddison. Maddison went off early against Luton. I could not believe it when I saw it. So obviously they're 1-1 at the time. I thought, you never know, he could get a goal, maybe assist. No, he decided to take him off, and boy, it was early. It was the 68th minute. Can't remember the last time he went off that early. So yeah, only 2 points there for James Maddison. That was really, really disappointing. I really thought he would absolutely smash it this game week. Didn't happen, and he failed miserably for me. Definitely somebody I've got eyeing up getting rid of. So yeah, the other midfielders. So I had Mohamed Salah. He was my captain. To be fair, I've got to be disappointed because obviously a lot of people captain either Son and even Palmer, and both of them outperformed him. Thankfully, he did get a goal though. He didn't blank, so that was a relief. So yeah, I've got Salah in my team though. That's the main thing. And yeah, 14 points from him. Palmer, I've mentioned it already. How well he did. 15 points, 2 goals. Absolute storm performance. Really happy with that. And I did say last week, he's going to be on penalties after what Sterling did. So yeah, he's not going to be fighting anymore. So 15 points from him. Absolutely smashed it. Buzzing about that. And then Son ends it there with 10 points. Happy with that. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of people captain him, so I should be disappointed. But the fact is, I've got him, though, so I've got to be happy with that. And he did get 3 bonus points as well, top it off. So, buzzing with those 10 points as well, even though I lost out probably on 10 points because loads of other people had him as captain. And my strikers then, so Ollie Watkins went off injured at half-time. Only got the 1 pointer there against Wolves. That is disappointing. Ivan Toney, I mean, 5 points in the end. Got the assist in like the 98th minute or something like that. I mean, God, how many shots did he have against United? He should have scored about 2, maybe and 3 goals in that game. So to come away with just 1 assist is disappointing, but at least he got something because, I mean, you've noticed it by looking at the team. I don't have Erling Haaland anymore, and to be honest, I haven't got actually any plans in bringing him in either. He's top goal scorer in the league, but he's only got 18 goals. He hasn't set this season alight like he did last season. So, I'm not that worried, to be fair, that I don't have him. I mean, ideally, I would like him for game week 33 when he plays Luton. Because obviously he scored, what was it, like 4 or 5 goals against Luton in the FA Cup. So, I have got my eye on him, possibly bringing him for that game week. But for now, I'm trying not to think about him. But yeah, I don't have him. Obviously, he did blank and he got 2 points. And then, of course, Dominic Solanke got me a nice, cushy 7 points there. Got the goal against Everton, 2 bonus points on top of that. I mean, he could have had 3, but, the guy decided to get a yellow card, which was a little frustrating, to be fair. But, yeah, overall then, 64 points. Well, with the -4, it was 60 points and a small red arrow. So, 3 red arrows in a row now, but I've got to say, the rank's not changed too much, and I've still got my chips in my wild card, my bench boost, and my free hit. So then, let's go through my team selection for game week 31. And kicking us off in goal, we've got Dubravka starting us off. So, Areola obviously went off with concussion in the last game week, which was literally just Saturday. So, the chances of him playing in midweek aren't exactly high right now, and he does play Spurs at home. So I'd much rather currently right now have Dubravka, who's got Everton at home. I mean, don't get me wrong, Newcastle's defence is shocking right now. They've got so many injuries. Am I confident he's keeping a clean sheet? Absolutely not. When I have my wildcard, will he be in my team? Absolutely not. So, yeah, confidence-wise, I'm expecting a 2 points at best from my goalkeeper. With my defenders, now, look, I'm not happy with my defence. I'll make that clear, and I've made it clear already in this video. But this is the best that I can do for now. I do have 1 free transfer, but I'm trying not to really make it there, if I'm being honest. I want to try and avoid it. But if I do decide to get rid of somebody, it's either going to be one of Estupiñán or Doherty. Charlie Taylor is just too cheap right now to even think about trying to find money to put elsewhere. I mean, I do have 2.2 million in the bank, so I could actually get a decent defender for Charlie Taylor, but if I keep him there, I can put money elsewhere for now. So, it's going to be either one of probably Estupiñán or Doherty for now. But I'm going to be starting, as it stands, Estupiñán, who's got Brentford away. Am I confident he's keeping a clean sheet? Absolutely not. I think Brentford will score. So, yeah, that's not a good start. I've got Doggy, who's got West Ham away. Do I think he's going to keep a clean sheet? Absolutely not, because West Ham, I mean, they're going to be pretty annoyed after that defeat to Newcastle. But the fact is, they scored 3 goals, and they're now going to be playing at home. So, yeah, I can see him scoring against Spurs, because Spurs, they don't want to defend, they just want to attack. And then Gabriel, who's the only one out of the 3 that I can see keeping any kind of clean sheet. Luton at home, I mean, the fact that it's at the Emirates just makes me feel so much more confident that he's going to keep a clean sheet. And obviously that does leave to obviously Taylor and Doty on the bench, both of them at home. Well, no, sorry, both of them are not at home. Doty, of course, is going to be away from home, and obviously Charlie Taylor will be at home. But yeah, neither of those two keep clean sheets because their defence isn't exactly the best. So then with my midfield, I've changed up a bit this week. So I've gone for a 5-man midfield. I've had 3-4-3 formation for so long. It's been a while since I've gone to a 3-5-2. But I've dropped a striker and I've gone for a 5-man midfield. Now, don't get me wrong. I am thinking about making a transfer, the 1-3 transfer I've got. And I could easily bring in a striker, which it's a bit obvious who I'm talking about. But anyways, I could bring them in, or I could bring a midfielder in. Now, you might be thinking, well, who would I bring in? Well, I could bring in Luis Diaz, who obviously just scored against Brighton. And I could take out James Maddison, who I've been a bit disappointed since I brought him in. He's not been exactly setting the world alight for me. His fixtures, I don't really think they're amazing, if I'm being honest. I've still got the wild card, obviously, so that's something to think about. But West Ham, Forest, Newcastle, next 3, and then they've got a blank. Don't like the looks of that. Then obviously they do have Arsenal and Liverpool, which ain't great, but they've still got 2 fixtures yet to be announced, which will be more than likely game weeks either 35, 36 and 37. So then I could bring him back in for those. But these next 3 aren't great, and I could bring in Luis Diaz, especially when they've got Sheffield United in game week 31. So that is a transfer I'm thinking about doing, because obviously Maddison don't look great right now, and obviously Liverpool have got a great fixture coming up. But anyways, other midfielders, obviously I've got Mohamed Salah. Obviously he's going to be my captain for this game week. Nobody else is even in my mind. I know Saka's got Luton, but he went off injury against Man City anyway. So will he be fit? I mean, I think he will be, but yes, even if he was available, if he didn't go off injury, he was perfectly fine. Salah will be my captain regardless. Obviously got Cole Palmer in there as well. Tougher fixture against United, but United just concede so many shots. If you watch that Brentford game, oh my god, I could not believe it. What the hell are you? I don't get how United. It's funny how the pundits blamed it on Casemiro losing his legs, right? Oh, he's lost his legs. That's why all these shots coming in. Casemiro didn't even start the bloody game, right? And nobody's mentioning it. We all go on about how great Kobe Mainoo is. He's this and that. They've just had so many shots and the guy started. So what's the problem? There's a problem somewhere. But oh my god, yeah. But anyways, they conceded so many shots, so Palmer's got a good chance there. And obviously then I've got the double Spurs midfield. And like I mentioned, I could change that to Luis Diaz instead of Maddison, but I haven't done that just yet. But of course, I'm not going to be replacing Son. Not a chance in hell. He'll be playing regardless. I probably will have Son now for the rest of the season. That will probably be locked in, Son, until the end of the season. So yeah, that's just an obvious one. He's on penalties. He's their best player, so yeah. And then that leaves me with Saka, which I've already mentioned really. Luton at home, great fixture. If he starts, beautiful. So yeah, I do like the look of my midfield, to be fair. But yeah, if I make a change, Maddison out of the 5 will be the first on the chopping block. And then finally, that brings me on to my strikers then. So it's Slanky and Tony starting for me. Slanky's got Crystal Palace at home. Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable with that fixture for him. I think he can score in that fixture. Look, even with this new manager at Crystal Palace have had, they've not exactly looked amazing, in my personal opinion. I mean, people go, oh yeah, but they've shored up a bit at the back and that and this and that. They look a little bit better attacking. Yeah, maybe, but they still concede goals. So yeah, I think Bournemouth could easily score against Crystal Palace. So yeah, definitely have to have Slanky up there. And then I've got Ivan Toney. Unlucky not to score against United. I think he's going to score against Brighton. It is at home again as well, which is tasty. Now, not a lot of people are really raving about him right now, just because he's not set the world alight, and all these so-called, experts, let's face it, majority of them knee-jerk reaction kind of guys. They go for the odd lucky guy, but Tony is such a good striker, right? He's been so unlucky, really. Surely he's going to get the goal, but yeah, I'm going to gamble on him and keep him in my team for now anyway. But yeah, Tony will be starting for me as well. So those two for sure will be starting in game week 31. So that obviously leaves my guy on the bench, Ollie Watkins. Now, Watkins, I've had in my team for quite some time now. He's absolutely smashed it for me. He did go off injured at half-time against Wolves. Don't know how serious it is. Doubt I'll find out how serious it is, really. Obviously, on the FPL site, it says he's 75% chance of playing. He's got a hamstring injury. He's got Man City away next. Don't feel confident about that at all, to be fair. And then even in after that, I mean, his fixtures aren't exactly the most amazing. Brentford at home and then Arsenal away. It ain't great. So, if I do make a transfer, and it is a striking option, it will be more than likely for Darwin Núñez. Obvious reasons, he's got Sheffield United at home. So yeah, ideally I'd like to, at least double up on my Liverpool attack for that fixture. I mean, yeah, Liverpool's fixtures, they don't blow everybody out the park, But the fact is, Sheffield United next, Man United, or we mentioned they can see goals, Crystal Palace, and then they've got a double game week in 34. It just makes sense, really. Now, if I decide to bottle it and I don't go for him, and I bottle a midfield option for Madison for Luis Diaz, then defensively I could bring in Bradley or something like that for Doherty, really. So that is another option. But if I'm being honest, completely honest, if I make a transfer, Ollie Watkins will come out and I'll bring in Darwin Núñez. So that is what I'm thinking about for game week 31. Sorry. So that is how my team will more than likely be for this game week coming up. Let me know what you think. I mean, I'm sure most of you will agree that's what I should do, bring in Darwin Núñez. But yeah, let me know what you're thinking about doing. Please as well, don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.